Bane is monstrous and insane. Killer Croc's look is way too monstrous. Guys, I think Absolute Batman is awesome, and today we're gonna see another chapter of his story. The DC Absolute Universe is much darker than the main canon. In it, the heroes have to be real tough guys, and Absolute Batman has already proven his worth. But now he faces a new, more powerful villain, Absolute Bane. And I'll tell you right now, he makes Batman, who is huge, look like a little doll. So guys, I'm Gabriel, and this is Anonymous Studios. Without further ado, let's get to the video. In his first appearance in the story, Absolute Bane brutally murders a diplomat to prevent the signing of a peace treaty between two fictional nations, Kandak and Kurak, showing his extreme cruelty and strength. The story shifts to Gotham City, where Batman is tirelessly searching for his missing friend, Alan Jones. His brutal methods are causing chaos, to the point where the city's infrastructure is overloaded with the number of injured criminals, including one cop who curses Batman out because of his attitude, and his name is Grayson. It's obvious that he's going to be this Batman's Robin, but that's another story. To find his friend, Batman asks for help from police officer Barbara Gordon, who reveals that Alan was captured by the police and is in a sinister penitentiary known as Ark-M, a clear allusion to the standard universe's Arkham Asylum. But guys, this one is much bigger and has things that look like alien technology. Like I said, the Absolute Universe is heavier, more somber, so you'd expect Arkham Asylum to be much scarier. Ignoring Alfred's warnings, Batman invades the Ark-M facility, which he discovers is a mysterious and advanced underground complex, like I just said. Inside, he finds a preserved skeleton of a Batman creature before being confronted by Bane. Bane appears much larger than Batman and easily neutralizes his fighting styles, paralyzing Batman's limbs with precise nerve strikes. Bane, even as he paralyzes Batman's arms, says to him, "Use your legs," which Batman tries to do, but Bane paralyzes them too. Bane then injects a substance similar to the venom found in the canonical comics, which makes him grotesquely larger, turning Batman into a mere toy in his hands. Then Batman is wiped out. The story continues with Martha Wayne worried about the disappearance of her son Bruce, while Gordon tries to reassure her. For those who are a bit lost about how Bruce Wayne's mother is alive, I can make a video telling the whole saga of Batman in this Absolute Universe, but only with your likes and comments, because only with your help and approval does this channel stay alive. You have no idea how much your likes and subscriptions help my work, so hit that like button and subscribe, and comment if you want the full video on Absolute Batman. This way you won't just be helping my work, but you'll help other comic book and Batman fans find this kind of content. Because let's face it, every Batman fan deserves to see this story. This Absolute Batman is too damn badass. Getting back to it, in Arkham, Bruce is sedated and observed by a doctor. Although she believes he will remain sedated for 48 hours, as soon as she finishes her report, Bruce wakes up ready to escape. He gets up and immediately pulls a pin from his teeth that he uses to pick the lock. Upon entering the pitch black room, the door he had just picked slams shut. With little other choice, Bruce starts investigating the place butt naked. He passes by something very large and arrives at a section called Hellfern. It's at this moment that the doctor begins another log, this time tracking Bruce within the Ark-M prison. Batman finally arrives at this section called Clay. The word is spelled with a K, but the reference is clear, right? To the word clay, probably the clay face of the Absolute Universe. Bruce steps on something strange, and that's when someone complains that it hurts. We see a man in mud form, or what seems to be many men, because he has multiple hands and tries to wrap himself around Bruce. That's when the hero gets punched by Bane, who is there to capture him. Bruce is knocked unconscious, and Bane just tells him to keep trying to escape. And at that moment, we go to another flashback. Bruce continues training Waylon for his fight. At home, they analyze his opponent on TV. Bebo is going to be a merciless adversary, and that's why Bruce's training is too, meaning more running, more training, and more dedication. But his friends can't see a weakness in this Bebo. But Alan is determined and won't give up so easily. Now we're in the present. A month has passed and no sign of Bruce. Martha is still desperate for news, but no one knows his whereabouts, while she is comforted by her friend Harvey Dent. Actually, his friends know, but they prefer not to say anything because it would mean exposing Bruce's identity as Batman. Meanwhile, our hero is still thrown in his cell. The doctor continues to observe him. Bruce has been there for 45 days, and since day 20 hasn't shown any attempt to escape. He's been motionless for several days. The doctor concludes that the prisoner is completely submissive, but ironically, as she says this, Bruce gets up and attacks the medical team members who had just entered the cell. The doctor quickly revises her diagnosis and says the previous assessment of this patient was a bit premature. By the way, there's also that reference that Bruce is patient 27, paying homage to his first appearance in Detective Comics number 27. Bruce pulled out his own teeth and is now using the teeth between his fingers to make his punches more devastating. Just think of a hardcore Batman, man. One of the doctors asks for calm, but Bruce ignores the pleas and then simply uses one of the feeding tubes that was in his stomach to expel gastric juice right into the doctor's face. Holy crap! Not content with that, Bruce throws one of the doctors into the toilet. Again, the detective tries to escape, and this time he passes by that experiment from before. But we can see the egg has hatched. Bruce runs and runs until he gets tired. Frustrated, he tells whoever is listening to go to hell. Then he starts running again until he reaches the edge of the installation. Batman uses a controlled explosion to propel himself through the wall and starts climbing it. His willpower is endless, and the hero reaches the second floor after much effort. But there he finds a kind of ecosystem. Upon entering, the place looks like a forest, but something is wrong. The trees have eyes, and the vines coil around, immobilizing the hero. And the doctor, who continues to observe everything, says he is in the LA ecosystem, which is clearly a reference to poison ivy. But it's hard to be sure because it's very different from anything that reminds you of ivy. Then a kind of zombie made of vines appears, saying that the green wants out of there. The creature spits numerous tentacles from its mouth that also go into Bruce's mouth. But again, Bane appears and prevents Bruce from dying there. But of course, he's also there to capture Bruce and unleashes another barrage of punches on our hero. And now let's go to another flashback. Selina Kyle wakes him up, saying it's time to go. While preparing her weapon, she invites him on another heist of a big company, but Bruce refuses. He says he needs to study Wayland's opponent today, and Selina says that sooner or later, Bruce will have to tell Wayland that he doesn't stand a chance against Bebo. However, Bruce refuses, telling him that would crush him. Selina says it's better to tell him now before he gets beaten up and ends up in the hospital, but only to do it after they pull off the heist. Back in the present, another month has passed, and Bruce is still missing. It's August. Martha hasn't given up looking for Bruce and is putting up posters around the city. We return to Ark-M, and Bruce is different. This is because of the substance they keep injecting into his blood. The doctor says his body is ready for the transformation, but it can't be done until his spirit is broken. The doctors think patient 27 is already broken, and even Bane suggests another escape attempt, so the staff throws the Batman suit to Bruce, who at first just asks to be left alone, saying there's no way to win. But upon looking at the Batman suit, Bruce knows he has to try again. Something calls to him and he finally puts on the suit for another escape attempt. Again, he passes by one of the giant experiments that you can't make out and arrives at the Langstrom experiment wing. Various monster creatures appear asking for help. Another flashback happens and we see Alan asking Bruce if he has any chance of beating Bebo. In the present, Batman says he doesn't know how to help these creatures. Just like in the past, he didn't know how to help his friend. The creatures just ask him to make the pain stop. But before he can do anything, Bane comes in hard and kicks Batman. But this time, something is different. The villain is bigger, feeding even more from that tube. Bane comments that he and Batman are the same, and that he is only trying to help him deal with the pain. He pulls more substance into his body and grows even larger. Batman is thrown back and shatters the glass of that experiment we saw before, the one with the giant egg. The villain comments that the most important thing in a war is not being the strongest or the smartest, but the one who adapts best. But before he can finish the sentence, a giant crocodile jumps on him. It came out of that cell Batman accidentally broke. The creature manages to strike Bane, who falls to the ground unconscious. The doctors intervene at this moment and try to analyze what happened, but are surprised by the creature, which devours two men in one bite. And I think it's obvious who this crocodile is, right? Batman recognizes him immediately, calling him Wayland. The crocodile turns and comes face to face with the bat. And guys, Killer Croc's look is sensational. Did you like it too? Comment, Batman says it's Bruce, and Croc recognizes him by his smell. Another flashback happens, and we see Bruce's answer to Waylon's earlier question. Yes, he trusts his friend, and it's time for them to keep training. And that's when we return to the present, and Batman is riding Killer Croc. Crazy, right? Bane recovers and now finally finishes his sentence. This is a phrase said in Athens about 400 years before Christ, and Batman just replies, "Shove that up your ass." Holy crap, mega Batman with no brakes, guys. Seriously, I had an orgasm watching this. Did you have one too? Batman and Killer Croc flee the location, heading into the sewers. The doctor then appears and says that patient 27 continues to surprise. She asks if Bane is ready for the final phase, and the villain says yes, calling her Dr. Ark-M. Bane comments that this is the phase where he will finally be able to break Batman, and that ends this issue number 10. And guys, another really cool, really fun comic from Absolute Batman. So what do you think? Comment below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next updates on this story from the geek and nerd world in general, not to mention my fan-made content on Backrooms and the Justice League. And if you want the full story of this Batman up to now, comment and I'll make it. That's all for today, folks. See ya.